going on, Jerome's? So Christmas Eve was less than ideal for the Minnesota Vikings, allegedly dropping one against the Lions to fall to 7-8 on the season, and all of the injuries, all the mistakes, all of the everything seemingly caught up with the Vikes, and it is what it is. And as of right, again, I'm recording this during Monday Night Football, Ravens versus Niners. Niners just got a safety. Brock Purdy getting exposed. But that doesn't really impact the Vikings playoff stand, although the Vikings did beat the Niners, by the way. But the Vikings currently on the outside looking in at 7-8. Like we said, basically everything wrong. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for the Vikings on Sunday. Seattle beat the Titans. The Rams beat the Saints earlier. The Falcons won, the Packers won, and the Vikings lost. All right, so everything was not good in the hood, but the Vikings still have a puncher's chance to get into the dance of around 26-27% per the Upshot New York Times. But looking at it the other way, Vikings currently hold the number 15 pick in the draft. Now, here's what happens. So now everyone who's saying like, oh, the Vikings should tank and get a better draft pick, because the higher you draft, it is guaranteed that you get a better player, as opposed to you draft where you draft. How do the Ravens? I mean, the Ravens must get the number 1 overall pick every other year. Same thing with the Niners. It's crazy how that happens, man. Again, you draft where you draft and you don't complain. But now, the people who are saying when the Vikings were 0-3, 1-4, oh, we should have tanked, we should try and get number 1, blah, 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 blah. They've reared their ugly head, right? So some fans are saying like, hey, the Vikings should lose their final 2 games, finish 7-10, and try to move up in the draft position. Now, there's a couple of things here. First off, no. Second of all, think about what you're asking, because, again, look at the Viking schedule. Packers at home, U.S. Bank Stadium, Christmas Eve, Sunday Night Football, national television for everyone to see. And then you got the Lions. I mean, you got a chance to piss in the Lions' cornflakes, man. I mean, the Vikings still have a chance to get in the dance. The Lions will likely be jockeying for playoff position, whether the 2 or 3 spot. Maybe even 1 spot. Hell, who knows? Depending on what happens in this game. Actually, we'll know the result by the time you watch this, so it might be moot. But the Vikings, even with all the injuries, even with all of the turnovers, even with all of everything, man, doesn't matter. Does not matter. I don't have many hard and fast rules to be a fan, because being a fan is a spectrum. Like, you can be hardcore, you can be super casual, you can be everywhere in between. It's all good. Every fan is like a snowflake. Not that you get like offended easily, but we're all different. We're all unique. All right. So there's no one way to be a fan. But I will say that I feel like there's one steadfast rule. You cannot root for the Packers to beat the Vikings. You just can't do it. Can't do it. And again, think about what you're asking. So first off, the draft order right now, the Vikings clumped up with a bunch of other 7-8 teams around the league. So the Vikings, I mean, they're at 15 right now. What's the best they could do? Move up maybe to the top 10? But also, depending on how some of these games go, I mean, the Vikings may not even move up at all. Like, so what do you want? What do you want to do? And again, I would understand if losing these games, trying to see the forest through the trees, would guarantee the Vikings, say, the number 1 overall pick or in a transcendent draft. But that ain't it. So, what exactly are you telling me? You want the Vikings to lose to your hated rival at home on national television when you still have playoff hopes, and it would actually increase their playoff chances as opposed to slamming the door on them. You want that to happen just so that you can move up from, say, maybe 15 to 13? Is that what you want? And also, you might not even move up, depending on how these other games pan out. So it may all be moot. Again, no. Cannot let this stroll into U.S. Bank Stadium and leave with the W. I look forward to absolutely beating the piss out of Jordan Love once again, just like earlier in the season when the Vikings had their only blowout win of the year, 14 points. Ooh. So again, I refuse. And again, I'm not going to tell anyone else how to be a fan. No one should tell me how to be a fan either. But I feel like there's one rule that we can abide by. Do not root for the Vikings to lose to the frickin' Packers, man. Just can't do it. And the Vikings, like we said, can effectively end the Packers season. And but you're going to improve the Packers draft spot. Who cares? Packers are just going to screw up anyways. Happens, man. I mean, it's just like the Bears. I mean, the Bears could take Caleb Williams at 1, even though he apparently does not want to go there. And then they take a tackle at 8, and they screw up both of them. It's going to happen, man. It's absolutely going to happen, right? So, no. The Vikings should not tank the last 2 games. Again, they got a shot, and I fully understand that without Hawkinson, without Addison, without DJ Wanham, without Kirk Cousins, obviously, I mean, the Vikings in the playoffs might not be great. Maybe a one-and-done situation, but again, what's the alternative? You want the Vikings to lose to the Packers at home, and you just want the Vikings to roll over and die against the Lions, just so that Lion fans could be like, oh, the roar has been restored. What's so ironic is so many Lions fans have come to our channel just to gloat and say the Lions live rent-free in your head. So first off, hold on. So if you're a Lions fan, you've been suffering for a long time, man. Good. You deserve it. That's mean-spirited. But your first thing to do after your team wins the division, which has been around since 2002, and the first time you've won your division since 1993, 30 years. 30 years without winning the division, and your first action is to go onto a YouTube channel of one of your rivals, and it's not even a good YouTube channel. It's like the 78th Best Vikings Podcast YouTube channel. Just write, rent-free. Bro, that is the definition of rent-free, Brent. I get it. I'm hard to forget. It happens, man. It happens. But, again, no. Win out. Give yourself a chance. And again, hey, you know what? Just get into the playoffs, and I don't even care if you win a game. You still have a shot, right? So wouldn't that be fantastic if the Vikings get in as a 7 seed, the Lions somehow, some way end up with a 2 seed, we get it on again for the 3rd time in 4 weeks, and the Vikings piss on the embers of Ford Field after they burn Utica to the ground. It would be glorious. It would absolutely be glorious, man. It would be akin to Randy Moss shooting the moon 2004 playoffs in Lambeau. It'd be great, man. And that would, again, all the injuries, Vikings behind the 8 ball, don't care. But again, you cannot root for the Vikings to lose to the Packers, and also, frankly, you can't root for the Vikings to lose to the Lions at this point either. So that's all. Again, I want to make Dan Campbell cry week 18, and preferably wildcard weekend, but we'll see. And again, hey, the Vikings can make the Packers dead and gone, yeah, in the playoff picture on Sunday. Just do it. Do it. But your thoughts are thoughts? No. You cannot root for the Vikings to lose to the Packers on Sunday night just to improve draft position. Maybe. No. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.